Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Napoleon Hill. What you are about to hear could change your entire year. There is a small, silent moment when life whispers a simple yet powerful question. Are you ready to become who you were born to be? This is not an invitation to daydream. It's a challenge, a direct confrontation with your own mediocrity disguised as comfort. The truth is, most people go through their days as functional zombies, breathing, working, following schedules, but with their souls asleep. Why? Because it's easier to follow a script written by others than to have the audacity to write your own. But you listening to this right now know, on some level, that you were made for more. You know there's a flame, however small, waiting for your courage to ignite it. This is where Napoleon Hill's philosophy stops being an old concept and becomes a brutal mirror. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Yes, you've heard it before, but you heard it as a slogan, not as a sentence of responsibility. Hill didn't say maybe. He didn't say if the market helps or if the economy cooperates. He said can achieve. Period. What's missing is not opportunity. It's belief. Look around. Every building, every company, every empire started as a ridiculously improbable idea in the mind of someone who refused to give up on it. McDonald's was just a roadside restaurant until Ray Kroc decided it would be a global franchise. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lack of creativity. Edison was called crazy for trying to invent electric light. And Henry Ford? He went bankrupt 5 times before revolutionizing transportation. What do these names have in common with you? Everything. They had brains, muscles, bones, and fears. But they made a decision, the hardest of all, to believe when no one else did. The difference is not talent. It's conviction. It's your willingness to keep the vision alive even when the world tries to suffocate it. But belief alone is not enough. Clarity is the blade that cuts through the illusions of a scattered mind. Without clarity, your dreams are just fog. A purpose without a crystal clear vision is like an arrow without a target. You waste strength, waste time, waste life. Clarity demands brutality. It demands looking within and asking, what do I really want? Not what others think I should want. Not what is safe or socially acceptable. What do I, in the depths of my being, desire to build? That answer is your compass. Without it, you'll be like a ship adrift, impressed by every wave, misled by every current. And when clarity comes, it brings with it the weight of purpose. Not the romanticized purpose of social media, but purpose as a sacred burden. As Hill said, the burning desire, the kind of desire that burns stronger than the fear of failure. That desire is what gets you up at 5 in the morning, even when you're exhausted. It silences the voices that try to shrink your dreams to the size of your insecurities. Purpose is discipline in disguise. Because without discipline, purpose withers. You may want financial freedom, success, to leave a legacy, but wanting is not enough. The universe does not reward lukewarm desires. It rewards relentless action, silent routines, daily, invisible, non-negotiable effort. Henry Ford said, "Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently." And you will fail, not once, but many times. But every failure is a brick. Every rejection, every mistake, every humiliation, All of it is raw material for your ascent. But there is something even more powerful than discipline: bold action. Action without guarantees. Action with the real risk of failure. Napoleon Hill spoke about the importance of the mastermind, an alliance of minds that refuse to accept limits. Today, this means surrounding yourself with people who feed your ambition, not your comfort zone. Action is the antidote to fear. You don't wait to stop being afraid to act. You act despite the fear. Success is not the absence of fear. It's mastery over it. And when action becomes habit, true gratitude is born. Not passive gratitude from those who merely accept what they have, but active gratitude from those who honor their own achievements, no matter how small, and transform them into fuel to go further. The path, of course, is not linear. There will be changes, crises, losses, and that's where adaptability becomes your secret weapon. As Charles Darwin said, it's not the strongest who survive, but the most adaptable. Napoleon Hill knew this when he spoke about transmuting temporary failures into stepping stones to success. Every challenge is a laboratory. Every obstacle is a lesson in disguise. Adaptability is not weakness. It's applied intelligence. It's the ability to change the route without losing sight of the destination. And amid these battles, resilience is the warrior's soul. The ability to rise, no matter how many times life knocks you down. Abraham Lincoln lost countless elections before becoming president. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before lighting the first bulb. Resilience is not blind stubbornness. It's unbreakable faith. And at the heart of it all is constant learning. The mind that stops learning begins to die. Napoleon Hill spent 25 years interviewing the most successful men in history to write, think, and grow rich. Why? Because he knew success is a process, not an event. It's a continuous dance between knowing more, being more, and doing more. Your year can change. Your life can change. But change begins where most give up, in the decision to never be the same person again. You don't have to wait for the right moment. The moment is now. The opportunity is you. What you are about to do with the next 24 hours will determine who you'll be in the next 10 years. There are no shortcuts, no empty promises. There is only work, smart work, guided by vision, sustained by discipline, and ignited by the burning desire to leave a mark. So, when you finish listening to this, don't close your eyes dreaming of what could be. Get up, take the first step, then the second, and keep going. Because the world is not kind to those who wait, but it bows to those who dare. Life owes you nothing, but you owe everything to yourself. Are you ready to begin? And at this very moment, as you hear these words, an invisible decision is happening within you. It's not a conscious decision. It's not an "I'll try." It's something deeper. A breaking point between who you've been until now and who you are destined to become. And this decision doesn't scream. It whispers. It asks, will you commit to your greatness? Or will you keep betraying yourself with excuses? Excuses will always sound reasonable. There will always be a good reason to postpone. Lack of time, lack of support, lack of money, lack of luck. But the raw truth is that the only truly scarce resource is your willingness to begin. The rest can be built. The rest can be conquered. Think of Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate. A poor immigrant with no contacts, no privileges. What did he have? an obsessive idea, and the willingness to outwork everyone. He didn't wait for permission. He didn't ask for approval. He built an empire because he refused to accept mediocrity as his destiny. That is the essence of Napoleon Hill's philosophy. Success is not a lottery. It's a consequence, a chain reaction that begins with a non-negotiable decision. But for that decision to flourish, you must feed your mind with images of victory. Visualization is not magic. It's mental engineering. Every time you imagine yourself achieving your goal, you are training your brain to recognize opportunities, create solutions, resist discouragement. That's how Edison persisted after 1,000 failures. He had already seen the light bulb glow in his mind. The rest was just a matter of time and effort. But visualization without action is an illusion. You cannot dream your life into reality. You must act out your vision every day with an intensity that terrifies the lazy. And here comes discipline. Not forced discipline, but discipline as an act of self-love. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's waking up early, studying, practicing, improving, while others seek distraction. It's ignoring immediate pleasure in favor of a much greater and lasting reward. Look at anyone who has built something extraordinary. Athletes, artists, entrepreneurs, they all share this truth. Discipline is the price of freedom. Financial freedom, time freedom, the freedom to live on your own terms. As you progress, resistance will appear. The mind will try to sabotage you with doubts. What if it doesn't work? But the real question is, what if it does? What if you truly transform your life? What if you reach that level that seems distant today? Hill would call this applied faith, the ability to act as if success is already guaranteed, even when circumstances say otherwise. This is not arrogance. This is vision. It's how Lincoln led a nation through civil war. It's how Ford challenged industrial giants. It's how Disney built imaginary worlds during times of recession. But to sustain that vision, you'll need something else: consistency. Success does not come from one grand gesture. It is built brick by brick through small daily acts of excellence. Most people give up because they expect immediate results. But the great ones know. Roots grow in the dark before the tree breaks through the surface. In this process, patience becomes a powerful virtue. Patience is not passivity. It's strategic perseverance. It's knowing that every seed planted requires time, care, and trust to bloom. However, the path demands more than patience. It demands adaptability. The world changes. The rules change. What worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. The secret lies in adjusting the course without losing sight of the destination. In turning obstacles into bridges, converting problems into opportunities. Ray Kroc saw an ordinary restaurant and envisioned a revolution in how food was served. He didn't invent the hamburger. He reinvented the business model. That's adaptability. Seeing what no one else sees and acting when no one else dares. And as you walk this path, loneliness will come. It's inevitable. The masses don't understand a mind obsessed with growth. But that loneliness is the laboratory where your inner strength is forged. Great leaders have been through it. Hill called it the desert test, the period where everything seems to fall apart. Recognition doesn't come. Results take time. It's on this arid ground that true greatness is built. And when adversity knocks, when criticism comes, remember, Success is a sport for those with thick skin and a sensitive heart. Thick skin to endure the blows. Sensitive heart to maintain empathy, vision, and humanity. With every fall, every failure, you'll have two choices. Play the victim or grow stronger. That choice defines who you will become. Within this cycle of action, failure, learning, and adaptation, true mastery emerges. The ability to lead yourself. Leadership is not a title. It's a daily practice of self-mastery. It's making tough decisions, saying no to what doesn't serve you, staying focused while the world tries to distract you. In this personal leadership, gratitude reappears, not as a passive gesture, but as a conscious celebration of progress. Every small victory, every milestone must be recognized as living proof that you're on the right path. But do not confuse contentment with complacency. You can be grateful for what you have and still be hungry for what you can achieve. Gratitude and ambition are not enemies. They are powerful allies when balanced. It is this balance that creates true wealth, the ability to live with purpose, to impact lives, to leave a legacy. Because in the end, it's not just about what you accomplish, but who you become in the process. Now, take a deep breath and understand. What you're hearing is not just motivation. It's a call to action, a call to wake up, to act, to transform. Time will not wait for you. Success doesn't sympathize with the indecisive, but it ruthlessly rewards the relentless. So, the final question is not whether you're capable, because you are. The real question is, are you willing to pay the price? The price of focus, the price of discipline, the price of enduring loneliness, criticism, doubt, the price of reinventing yourself as many times as necessary until your vision becomes reality. What you are about to do after this message will define not just your year, but your destiny. The decision is yours. Now go and set the world on fire with your greatness. And as you walk now, inside your mind, through the ruins of procrastination and the debris of old excuses, something begins to rise. It's not a fleeting idea. It's a solid decision. A decision that rewrites biographies. You're building a new foundation, a new level of who you have chosen to become, no longer who life tried to shape you into. The time has come to understand that the world is not made for those who wait. It is made for those who take, for those who create, for those who dare. You can no longer afford to postpone your own evolution. Every second spent in doubt is a second stolen from your highest potential. And your potential, you either honor it or you bury it. And the graveyard of those with great intentions is full. That's why Napoleon Hill dedicated his life to studying the builders of the impossible. Because he knew the difference between an ordinary life and a legendary life is a sequence of courageous decisions made in silence, away from the spotlight, when no one is watching. And now it's your turn. The ball is at your feet. You don't need to be a genius. You don't need to be born rich. You don't need anyone to authorize your greatness. You need one thing, an unbreakable decision to change. And change doesn't mean flipping the table overnight. It means adjusting your internal thermostat, the one that defines how much you tolerate, how much you're willing to accept living below your potential. Can you endure staying where you are? Or are you ready to break through? Because once the true decision is made, everything else becomes inevitable. Habits change. Connections change. Vision expands. The external world begins to bend to the unshakable force of your inner world. Yes, there will be pain. Yes, there will be sleepless nights. But the pain of transformation is infinitely smaller than the pain of regret. And remember, you will never feel truly ready. No one ever is. Not Ford, not Disney, not Carnegie. They simply started. With fear, with doubts, but with a non-negotiable commitment to win. Victory, in the end, doesn't belong to the smartest. It belongs to the most determined. To those who move their bodies before their minds start sabotaging. To those who keep going, even when their inner voice screams, "Give up." Now it's your turn to silence that voice. The question that echoes is simple. Will you keep living in survival mode, or will you activate builder mode? Build your vision. Build your habits. Build your discipline. Build your new identity. And understand this. You don't have to do it alone. And set the world on fire with your greatness. Here, on this channel, you have a space. A refuge for restless minds. For nonconformists, for those tired of superficiality and ready to dive deep into their own evolution. If you felt this calling, if something inside you began to move while hearing these words, then do two things right now. First, subscribe to this channel, not as someone who's following yet another video, but as someone making a pact with themselves. Every video here is not entertainment. It's ammunition for your mind. It's fuel for your discipline. It's a tool for your transformation. Second, scroll down to the comments and write just 3 words. I accept change. These 3 words are not for me. They're not for the algorithm. They're for you. They are your public commitment that from today on, mediocrity has no place in your life. Write it. Declare it. Commit to it. Because what you are about to build starts now. And the world has yet to see what you are truly capable of. But it will.